Hi everyone, this is Grandmaster Eugene Perelshteyn presenting for chessopeningsexplained.com, and I want to share with you probably one of the best model games of the Grand Prix that I've seen recently played by my student. Now, I'm not going to tell you the rating of my student because I want you to guess his rating after this game. So let's start. After e4, c5, knight c3, d6, all of this is well known, and we play f4, getting ready for the Grand Prix attack. So knight c6, typically white plays knight f3, but my student chose bishop b5, which honestly doesn't matter because it will transpose. And after bishop d7, he says, I'm just going to get rid of that pesky knight on c6, unprovoked. Typically, we play knight f3, and we wait for black to commit the pawn to a6, then we take the knight. But I really like what he's doing because he knows that this is the plan anyways. We might as well execute this early in the game. So he took, bishop takes, d3, g6, knight f3, knight f6, castles, bishop g7, and we have ourselves a typical setup that we get from the Grand Prix. So by now, everybody who has read my book, Chess Openings for White Explained, knows the kind of very basic plan. Queen goes here, here. Obviously, black has to castle for the attack to happen. f5, bishop h6, knight g5. This devastated triangle with the queen, the bishop, and the knight is pretty much guaranteed once you set it up, an unstoppable attack. Well, my student learned it well. Let's see what happens. Queen e1, castles, queen h4, b5. So black's typical counterplay comes a little too late on the queen side. f5. Notice the beautiful pawn chain. Everybody is happy. All of white pawns are happy. They're supporting each other. And now the bishop is happy. Bishop is heading to h6. Black plays b4 and queen b6. So far, no serious problems. White simply goes to bishop h6. Notice that black can give this check. We don't really care. We can just go king h1. And after pawn takes, the strength of this d3, e4, f5 pawn chain is actually pretty good. So let's get back to the game. Black already doesn't know what to do. And of course, once you get into this position as black, it's quite difficult to get out. He plays a useless move, bishop d7. Obviously, not the right move, and maybe only the engine can help black here. The position is quite difficult. Well, my student simply plays knight g5, executing finally this triangle with the queen, knight, and bishop. And most importantly, the rook is ready to get opened up. c4 check. Okay, first threat of the game. Like I mentioned earlier, not a big threat. King h1, takes. And here black finally attacks the base, the d3 pawn. But as I said, attack on the king in these positions is extremely important. More important than that useless pawn on d3. And here, guys, guess what? The win is pretty much by force. And my student executes this idea because I already showed it to him. Pawn takes, very simple, open up the rook. And now accuracy is required. I really like the way he does this, because if you were to play, let's say rook takes f6 first, that may enable him to take with the pawn, and now after taking, to take on g5. And that is actually how you ruin a really good attack. Now I think white is busted. So that's not how to attack. The way to attack is you take on g7 first. King takes, and now the whole point of why we trade the bishops, why we open up the rook, why we put the knight on g5 and queen on h4 is to go for the exchange sacrifice. Rook takes f6, exclam. And this is, guys, game over. Black played h5 in panic, but let's just take a look at his options. Well, first of all, pawn takes is simply mate in 1. Not good. What about rook takes, you may wonder? Also not good. Mate in 2. The options are quite limited. And finally, walking the king right into the open results in pretty simple checkmate. I like this one. If king here, then queen h7, and if king e5, then the king gets mated right in the middle of the board with queen g3, and okay, you have one more spied move, rook f4, you just take and mate. So okay, going back to the game, black plays h5, thinking that, all right, I'm just gonna give you back the piece, hope for the best. White is not gonna just take the piece back. White's gonna take everything back and still checkmate black. Check, king here, check, rook takes, queen takes, king here, and mate. Well, this little miniature I wanted to share with you, not because this game is extremely important for opening theory. Yes, white knew the plan, black did not. But the really cool part about this game is that my student just got to 1000 rating. That's right, he's no grandmaster, he's no international master, not even a master, yet he played the game without a single mistake. And he's only rated 1000. So imagine what you can do if you know the ideas, the plans in the opening, typical tactics, typical attacks. You get to play exactly the same way and win. So this little miniature is, again, illustration of how powerful the Grand Prix attack really is. And if black doesn't know the antidote, doesn't know how to properly defend, he's going to be checkmated like this game. So I hope you enjoyed this little miniature, and we'll play like this as white. Hopefully you'll send me your games, and I will use them as the base for analysis in the future. Thank you very much. This was Grandmaster Eugene Perelshteyn for ChessOpeningsExplained.com.